Hey, my friends. Happy Tuesday. It's not a usual day for me to go live here on my Facebook page, but it used to be the day I went live on the last Tuesday of the month. I always did a virtual card class, and I haven't been doing that this summer. It's just been such a chaotic schedule that we haven't had time to do that, but I thought today we would bring that back. So I'm going to go ahead and share 3 cards with you today featuring the Hippest Hippos stamp set, which is one of the ones you can earn for free right now with a $50 order. So those of you who have already grabbed it can get a couple of ideas, and those of you who have not, you still have time. We have celebration going through the end of July right into August and all the way through. So with every $50 order you spend, you get to select a freebie, and those hippos are one of them. So let's go ahead and turn this around and we'll get started. I have a few cards to share with you. Like I said, I have 3. I don't have my printer here at home. I'm still working at home, although I think I'll be back in the office tomorrow. I just didn't have time to get all my stuff back over there. But I haven't played with this at all. This is the Hippest Hippos stamp set, and there's coordinating set of dies. So these are the adorable dies as well. So each of these is a free item with a $50 order. So in order to get both, you need to have a $100 order, or just order an order now worth $50 and you can get the stamps, and then just place another $50 order before the end of August and you could grab the dies. So I will say though, however, these are all while supplies last. So if it's something you want, I would grab it sooner rather than later, because there is the chance that the dies could sell out. So just keep that in mind. But we're gonna stamp some projects featuring, whoops, oh bummer, I just threw everything on the floor. Featuring these cute little hippos. And hopefully I can recover all of the parts of this. I think I can recover all the pieces that I need here. Luckily, I found a little heart, which I was afraid I would lose. The only thing I'm missing is the sentiment piece, but I might be able to. I got some extra dirt in there too. Lovely. Yeah, I'm just missing the sentiment, but I can cut a quick one. All right, so let me just do that before I forget, and then we can go ahead and get started. So go ahead and tell me if you've already ordered. Have you ordered the hippos yet? Is it on your list? What else is really exciting for you for celebration? I don't know if I have my, I do. So let me just pull this out really quick so you guys can see. So celebration, you get to earn freebies with every $50 you spend. So here are our cute little hippos. So $50 order can get you the stamp set, and then another $50 order can get you the dies, or you could do a $100 order and get both at the same time. There's this really pretty paper that I played with last week during our Christmas in July week. This is already sold out, you guys. The note cards and envelopes, unfortunately, those sold out really, really fast. So like I said, all of this is while supplies last. The Stylus Sketches is another one that is free with a $50 order. Then we have that gold and silver paper, which again, I used last week during our Christmas in July. That one's also $50, free with a $50 order. This one, which I haven't used yet, is the Amazing Phrasing, and this is a $100 set, so if you spend $100, you can get that one for free, but it's an amazing stamp set. It's got a ton of sentiment options. And then I used this last week as well in our Christmas in July week. That was the really cute one with the little camper, and it coordinates with the Trees for Sale stamp set and the annual, the mini catalog. So that's really cute, and I love that one a lot. So cute. And then finally is this one, which is a $100 order, and I haven't played with this one either. It's the stamp set and the pack of paper, and the paper is really, really pretty and coordinates beautifully with the stamp set, so that's quite the bonus. If you want to do a catalog order with some friends, you can actually earn a free host reward with a $300 order. So if you can gather your order and a few friends and get $300 in orders, you obviously get the freebies associated with the order, plus you could automatically get this free host set as well. So that's another little perk. And of course, I shared with you earlier in the month about the starter kit, where you can get this really fun planner, which I have a video on that too if you want to check it out. That one is really a great deal if you have a long wish list, because you can pick $125 worth of product for just $99 plus tax, and then you get that awesome planner kit in addition for free. So super, super cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with some stamping. I think I used black on this last time, so I'm going to go ahead before I get started. I am going to just clean this off here. I need this guy because I'm going to use Bermuda Bay, and I'll stick this to the side because we're going to need that again later. All right, so I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay ink pad. This is my color combo for today. It's Bermuda Bay. I didn't really use a ton of Poppy Parade, but there's a little bit of Poppy Parade, Fresh Freesia, and Smoky Slate. So kind of a fun beachy vibe. We're going to go ahead and start by stamping this little guy as a background. Do you guys ever do that? Basically create your own designer series paper by just stamping an image repeatedly. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp him multiple times. And there we go. We have our own little patterned paper. I'm going to go ahead and clean that off again because I'm going to need it for something else. Hello, Carol. Yeah, the hippos are super cute. So we'll hopefully give you a few more ideas for that. All right, so I'm going to clean that off. I'm going to use black ink after that, so it probably wouldn't matter all that much, but I just like to keep things clean, right? Okay, so I'm using a, actually, I think this is gray granite. I meant for it to be smoky slate, but I'm pretty sure that's gray granite. That's what I have access to. Those of you that have been following around for the last week, it's been so hot up here. I'm on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and I'm sure we are not anywhere near as hot as those of you in the south, but it's been super hot, and my office is like a sauna because it's like an old house. So I just haven't been working out of that. I've been working from home, but that means I have limited supplies. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little hippo guy and, whoops, stamp that on some scrap basic white. Shelby and I actually got to go for a walk this morning because it wasn't too hot. I'm going to use some Smoky Slate blends. I'm going to use a combination of the light and the dark. I got to put my glasses down to see this. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and carefully outline this. These cards are super, super simple, but they might take me a little while just because there's some coloring involved in most of them. This one doesn't have a lot. Just gonna color my cute little hippo. I like to use the light for his snout, if you call it that, and his belly, and then I'm gonna use the dark for the rest of him. Like so. This is the first time I've played with this stamp set, which is crazy because I've had it forever, but I lost a bit of July with some family trips and holidays and vacations and all sorts of stuff. Oops, I almost missed his little tail. There we go. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to grab the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and we'll plop that on here and grab the die that coordinates. Is it this one? Nope. No, I don't know why that one was pulled off. It's this one, I think. Yep. There we go. So then I'm just going to line that up with the image, and then stick this in here, and we'll roll that through. Oh, 100 degrees today in Western Oregon, huh? That is warm. Yeah, no, I think we're down to the, I think it was only supposed to get to 80 today, so we're having a more pleasant day, although I did just close the windows and put the air on again because it's getting a little stuffy up here. Okay, so but definitely a marked improvement over yesterday. So we're moving in the right direction. And honestly, I actually don't mind the heat. I'd rather have heat than cold. I'm just not a fan of cold weather. We're gonna actually stick this little guy in the tub. So I'm gonna, or the bucket, whatever you wanna call it. I cut this out with basic gray cardstock and using the dies. And I'm just gonna kind of stick him right inside of there. Oh, you know what? I've lost another piece of paper. Oh, here it is. Okay, so let's bring this back in. And I'm going to use my scissors to cut a banner in the middle of this. Actually, I may kind of position this right about there. Looks good. So I'm going to use that to eyeball how big I want that slit. And that looks good. So then I'm just going to cut a slit in the center and then go from corner to center and corner to center. And there I have a cute little banner. And then I'm going to take the Smoky Slate Twine from the Essentials pack. You guys, that's a must-have. That's a really good one. I use that one a lot. It's got white, vanilla, black, gray, and like crumb cake linen kind of color, a little bit darker. And it's perfect because it works for pretty much every project you could possibly need. So I'm going to just tie a knot first, and then I like to tie a bow. Just makes it a little easier for me. And then if the bow's not behaving, I will glue dot it into place, which it can be a little ornery sometimes. Okay, that looks good. I am going to go ahead and grab a glue dot and we'll stick that down so it stays in position. I've been treating myself the last couple of days because Nate had meetings last night and tonight, although tonight I have my team meeting with my fellow stampers, my team gathering. But normally when he's at a meeting lately, I've been watching Virgin River. Do you guys watch that show? It just came out with the 4th season and I'm addicted and that's all I want to do, but the girl's got to work, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and now attach this guy with some dimensionals. I have these minis handy, so we'll just grab these and attach that. I am using more than I probably need to, but it's fine. I'm going a little crazy. Alright, so the other thing is my guilty pleasure, and it's kind of silly, but I can't help it. I've been watching it for years, is Married at First Sight. But Nate and I actually watched that one together. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I don't really want it to overlap the ribbon too much. There we go. That's good. Now, where did my, oh, I had that heart, and where did it go? I was so excited I didn't lose it, and now I can't find it. I must have, whoops, I must have lost it in the mix. Come on. Alright, well, we'll just cut another one really quick. Let me grab my, it will show up, I'm sure, as soon as I am done cutting out a new one. So I'm just going to use this. Oh, I'm glad you like watching me do the blending. I'm not the greatest with blending, but I do like to color. Hey, Elaine! Alright, so now I have my hearts again. I have a few extra. I'll get rid of this. I tried to do all that in advance, so it wouldn't take as long, but of course I lost the little heart in the shuffle. So I'm just going to add a little bit of regular adhesive to this, and we'll attach it here. Oops, let me just fold that in so you can't see the adhesive because I went over the edge. There we go. Alright, we're just going to attach that right there. And then we can go ahead and attach this to the card. with some dimensionals again. Okay. I usually go overboard with layering on elements to my card because I don't like it to get saggy when it goes through the mail. So, okay, there's that. Now all I have to do is stamp the sentiment, and I'm going to use the one that says love you a ton, since I'm using that little heart. All right, and then hopefully I can get this. It's a little bit high, but we can fix that. Stick that out of the way. Grab my scissors. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down a little bit. Throw that out. And then I'm gonna actually trim it down a little bit this way too. You could use your trimmer if you wanted. I'm just gonna cut it with my scissors. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's fine. All right, so there's that. And then I can just use a little bit, let's see, I'll use one little dimensional over here, and then regular adhesive for the rest of it, where it overlaps the bucket. So then I'm just gonna put that like that. Whoops, come on, like that. And there we have our first card. Super cute, super easy. I love using my stamps as a background, so I kind of created my own DSP, because that was one of my problems, is I don't have a lot of designer series paper here in at my house, so I had to kind of come up with unique ways to do backgrounds and things like that. So you're gonna see a couple of different things that you can do. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do the next one, has a little bit of coloring, so we'll do that next. All right, so again, I'm using, well, not again, this time I'm using Bermuda Bay cardstock. And as I said at the beginning, if you're joining later, if you want the PDF tutorials for these cards, if you place an order in my online store using the host code in the description of this video, I will send you the PDF tutorials for all of them. So just a little thank you for following along and for shopping with me. Otherwise, you can always watch the video signal. So let's hope. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's back. So I'm gonna start coloring again. And this time I'm using, again, the same thing. We're gonna use the light smoky slate for the snout. And I'm not really gonna be doing any blending, so I'll do kind of batching when I color. Do you guys do this? So what I'll do is I'll do all the light first, and then I'll do all the dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all three of their snouts and bellies. Well, that's a weird sentence. Snouts and bellies. And then I'll go back and I'll do the dark. So, where are my coloring fans? You're usually either love coloring or you hate coloring. So, I'm a love coloring, but I don't like to do a lot of coloring for, like, I've learned in the past not to do like a coloring card for my holiday cards, because that's just a lot of work and I get bored eventually. Because I make about 250 to 300 cards every year, so I never really want to make more than 50 of one design. So I will usually design a few different ones just so that I can have some variety. And then I will also sometimes use my cards from classes or from videos, things like that. So sometimes I don't need to make that many because I can use some of the stuff I've been showing off for the months prior. So we're gonna color all of these little guys. I love the blending pens too because they just dry nicely. They don't show a lot of like streaking or anything like that. So it's really, they're really good markers. So these are the Stampin' blends. So these are our alcohol markers. I'm gonna go ahead and just color under here. and her leg, and again here. Okay, and then we're done with the light. Love coloring. Yeah, this set's really fun to play with. Oh, thanks for sharing, Joan. Okay, so now we're gonna go back, like I said, and do the dark. And I apologize, this does take a few minutes, so hopefully you'll stick with me so you can see the finished results. I like to surprise you with the results. I think you guys probably like me to show you the project first, but I like a good surprise. So that's what I do. I think it's because when I used to do in-person events, I used to like the oohing and ahhing, and I think you get more of that when you kind of do the big reveal. So this feels more like a big reveal to me. So you guys can ooh and ah in the comments, okay? Alright. Just doing this. And one down. We'll do the others. Okay. What holidays do you guys do cards for coming up? Do you guys do fall cards? Do you do Halloween cards? I haven't ordered any Halloween yet, but I could be convinced. And actually, I've been thinking, don't hold me to it yet. Well, first we have the paper share coming up. So the paper share registration will be coming up shortly. So if you guys didn't do the paper share for the annual catalog, that is coming for the mini catalog. And the way I do that is you'll get a 6x6 sampler of all of the different paper. There's, I forget how many in the new holiday catalog, 10 or so. So you'll get a little sampling of each plus a card to make with each one. So these are kits in the mail that you actually get delivered to your door. So that registration will be opening soon. I forget what the date is off the top of my head. And then after that, I have been considering doing a Halloween themed virtual creative escape. So we'll see. I gotta look at my calendar and see what kind of timing I have and whether or not I have enough time to get that in there, because that's a big project, you guys. We do pillow gifts and make and takes and all sorts of things. So it takes some time to get that set up. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take my purple. Yeah, coloring is good when you're not in a hurry. Like I said, making 50 of something, maybe not so much. I'm gonna use the Highland Heather here. I didn't have the Fresh Freesia pen at home, so I'm using Highland Heather, which will work just fine. I don't know why I'm coloring like that. That's not how I color. Okay. I'm just going to color that in, and we'll do... Oops, I don't know what that was. Let me get that off my pen. So there we go. I did that. And I did use the Light Pool Party for their toenails. Don't ask me why. Just because it kind of coordinates with my color theme. Not because I think that they have pool party toenails, but we need to make it all coordinate. So I'm going to do that, and I just noticed that I always miss it, but I missed the little tail here. Okay, so we'll do that, and then I just need, I'm using a light old olive, and I'm going to just color in that leaf there. There we go. So coloring is complete. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach this onto a Fresh Freesia panel like this. Oops, I locked the puppy out and she's not happy. She's banging on my door. She's so funny. She's so good now. Like when she was younger, that was one of the reasons why I got a studio, because it was very hard to stay focused on work because she was a puppy and she was into everything. So I had to stop every 2 seconds to go figure out what she was eating. And now she's almost 2. She'll be 2 this fall, and she is so much better. She just kind of wants to lay next to me wherever I am, which is super sweet. Even when everybody else is home, she always comes to find me. Unless she feels like playing, then she goes and finds Dad, because Dad's the one that horses around with her more than I do. So, oh, I'm gonna just make it, but I do want to trim this down a little bit. I don't want it quite that thick. So I'm gonna just cut right along that. And then I'm just using some liquid glue. I like the liquid glue because it allows me to reposition a little bit if I don't get it in the right spot right away. Like that. Okay. There. So just to add a little, it looks more like a scallop border. I know it's supposed to be like water, but for this one I just wanted a little more interest because it seemed kind of plain. So I added that on the bottom. And then I love the dies with this. You've got all sorts of fun things like snorkels and goggles and water waves and all sorts of cute stuff. What else do we have? We got flowers. I'm going to use the flowers too. The little bucket, a boat, some water splashes, a little life preserver, party hat. So there's all sorts of umbrella, so all sorts of fun things you can do with that. I'm going to take the You're So Hip sentiment, and I pre-cut a Stylish Shapes die from Pool Party cardstock, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp You're So Hip on that, and then we'll grab some dimensionals. And we will go ahead and attach that, okay? And that will be, oh wait, nope, there's one more step to this, hold on. I'm gonna put that here. And then, one more step, just gonna add a little bling. I'm gonna take my Wink Stella, which is like a glitter brush. It's like painting on glitter, which, how can you go wrong, right? And I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of glitter to the darker parts of my, I think I colored that the wrong color. Oh well. No one will know but me and you. But you won't tell on me, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just color on some sparkle, and then we'll call this one done. What do you think? You like this one? This one, like I said, is not one I would do a lot of, but if you felt like being creative and just wanted to play a little bit, this is a good one because you can do some coloring, which is a great activity when I'm watching TV with the family or something like that. I can kind of participate but still do some fun stuff at the same time. So there you go. There's card number 2. Super simple, super cute, super easy. All right, so there's number 2. Let's move on to number 3. Now this one was a challenge because I really wanted a background for this one. Let me just move these to the side. Hopefully I don't lose any flowers. Okay, we're using fresh freesia as the base. And then I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone a little bit, you guys. I didn't have any background paper, so nothing I could use to kind of decorate the front here, and I knew I wanted to kind of, I'm going to do a banner, so let me just show you what I was working with. I'm going to do a little banner again, corner to center, and corner to center, okay, like so. And I had it like this, and then I had some, I'm going to use this, but I was just like, the background's just so plain. So what I did is I took my Stampin' blends, and these are Highland Heather. This is fresh freesia. You could probably do with the fresh freesia, and it would actually be a little less dark. This one comes out pretty dark, but I just drew myself some lines, you guys. I made my own pattern. So I'm not using a ruler. I'm not being meticulous about this. I'm just drawing lines. There's the dark, and then I went back in, same paintbrush end, with the light, and just went right next to, either above or below, the line with the light. The trick is to make sure, whoops, I kind of went right over that one. The trick is to make sure that you go all the way from edge to edge, because otherwise it looks a little strange. But there's that. And then I used the ribbon again. And it's funny, after I did this the first time, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this. But once I put it all together, it's very different than my usual style, which I think is good to sometimes get ourselves out of our usual mix, right? But I actually liked it. It looks cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tie a little bow here. Again, it's one of my favorite techniques, to do a little ribbon at the top of a big banner piece like this. Okay, then we'll floof our bow a little bit, like so. It's not sitting nicely at the moment. It's all twisty. So what I like to do when that happens is, one, I'll pull it back in here a little bit. And then, ooh, it's super twisty. It's because it's the end of the roll. It just does not want to stay put. There we go. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and glue dot that in place too, because that was difficult for me to get situated. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick a little glue dot under here and plop that right into it. It's just gonna hold that shape a little bit better. Okay, trim off the excess on this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and tape this down to the front of my card. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you liked the first two cards, Carol. Thanks so much for hanging out. All right, for this one, we're going to attach kind of right about there. Looks good. Not quite the top, but pretty close to the top. Okay, and then this guy I'm going to attach with some dimensionals. Yeah, especially at the end, the twine does curl up a little bit, but I try and straighten it out, and then I use the glue dot to really anchor it down. It doesn't always come out perfect, although this one kind of worked pretty well. Sometimes it's still a little wonky, but one thing you can do sometimes is do like a double bow, and that usually helps that a little bit. All right, so I'm going to stick this, this is again the Stylish Shapes dies. I'm going to use this for a little centerpiece here. And then I'm going to take this white piece with this cute little hippo and my black ink. How can you forget to use your dimensionals, Joanne? I can't live without dimensionals. I always say, when in doubt, pop it up, because I gotta have some dimension. It's my favorite. I don't think I could live without it. Hey Betsy, thanks for joining. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing with our coloring. I'm gonna use the light here for his little snout. And that, there we go. Sorry about that. I'm usually done with my lives by 2:20, so he doesn't know that I threw in an extra live today. And actually, when I do the videos for my YouTube channel, I usually put it in airplane mode, so he can't interrupt me. Or not just him, anybody. Nobody can interrupt me, because that's really a bummer when you get halfway through your video and somebody calls you. Not that it happens much anymore. I don't really get a lot of phone calls, but it does happen at the most inopportune time. So, all right, so let's go ahead and do the dark here. And let's get that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna color right under here. Again, I like to outline everything and then fill in the holes. It just gives you a little bit of a cushion in case your hand goes crazy and goes out of line. So if you outline it, and I've always done this, I think a lot of people do this. I think it's something I don't know if we learned this in like grade school or what, but I know a lot of people do that, but it just gives you a little more protection when you're coloring. Whoops. There we go. Okay, and I'll do this, just to outline this. And then I'll grab the green for the leaf. And we'll grab the purple for the flower. And then we'll grab the Pool Party again, just to pull in this color, because that's the color scheme I was using for his little toenails. Okay, now we're going to take my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss here. I love the mini one. Look at you guys. I've never actually cracked a plate, but look at, they're cracked. Still works. I kind of want to use it until it actually breaks. I have new ones. I just keep using this one. All right, and then we're going to grab the die cut to match. Get that lined up around my image. I know there's always a big debate over whether you should stamp first or die cut first. For me, I just find it so much easier to stamp first and then die cut after it's done. So, but I do know people that do it the other way around. I just can never get it lined up if I do it that way. Particularly with this style of stamp. So this is our cling mounts, but it's got that red rubber. So it gives you that nice crisp image, but you can't see directly through the stamp. So that makes it a little more challenging to stamp after you've die cut, I think. All right, so let's put that away so I don't lose it. And now I got this cute little guy. We're going to attach this to the circle, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some Wink of Stella again. Let's bling up our hippo. Make him glitzy, or her, I guess. I don't know. We'll make it glitzy. I'm just going to do that part. And then I'm going to take these little guys and I'm going to grab my liquid glue and attach some of these smaller ones to the larger ones with some liquid glue. You could use mini glue dots. I'm going to use mini glue dots to attach them to the card, but this just makes them a little less bulky. So I'm going to attach that to here. Oh, I can hear my sweet girl. She's laying down outside the door because I just heard her little tag hit the floor. She's such a good girl. Okay, and then we're going to do this and attach this one. So now you could, like I said, use the liquid glue to attach those two, but just to make it a little quicker, maybe actually, this is probably quick too, you could dab where you wanted it to go. I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. So I'm going to find my little glue dot. I'm going to stick my flower right on top, and then when you peel it off, the glue dot comes off with it. So I'm going to stick the purple ones right on the gray so that's not purple on purple. So I'm strategically placing those here. And then we can fill in with the others. So I'll do this little blue one. Let's do that here. Okay, we'll use a bigger one to fill in the space over here. Like that. And use this one, put that one up here. And then the last one is this. So this is really kind of a fun vibe. I feel like you could do this for like a kid or something would be really cute. I just realized that I think that banner is pretty crooked, but whatever. And I actually didn't even put a sentiment on this. I had planned to put the "Aw, you're really the best," which I could put inside if I wanted. But I also think this is cute just as a note card, right? So you can just kind of leave it as is. Can you see the sparkle on him? Isn't he cute? All right, so those are our 3 projects. Let me pull them out again. That's number 3, number 2, and number 1. Which one do you guys like the best? I always like to ask. So there you go. There's your virtual card class for today. Hopefully you enjoyed those projects. Got some ideas for your Hippest Hippos if you have that one. If you don't, of course, you can always earn it for free with a $50 order. Feel free to visit the website above, and if you use that host code, I'll send you the PDF tutorials with all the cutting directions for these cards so you can make them at home as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Hopefully everything was good. You guys kind of stopped commenting, so I hope that y'all were still with me, because I don't know, my internet was being a little weird. So thanks again for watching. I will see you again on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for our Thursday Throwdown, and until then, have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!